Welcome back to Channel 626. Today we're breaking down Get That Bigfoot Out of My Face, which gives us a look at Doofenshmirtz's unfortunate dating life as Strudel Cutie 4427. And we see Candace playing the long con. Let's get right to it. The episode title could be a reference to this quote from Nacho Libre.
Get that con out of my face!
The episode starts with everyone driving to Camp Phineas and Ferb, which is just their grandparents' house. A future episode also takes place here, but it's unclear whether or not that was the same trip. We hear this conversation between Phineas and Buford.
What's the first thing you're gonna do at Camp Buford?
Find a nerd, take his underpants, and run him up the flagpole.
I don't think Camp Phineas and Ferb has a flagpole.
And later, when Phineas shows the camp t-shirts, you can actually see a flagpole right in the center of it. Then we get this exchange between Phineas and Candace.
I don't like bugs. Phineas, are you even listening to me?
I seem to have misplaced my ant farm.
Mom!
Which is interesting because we don't see an ant farm at any point. This could be Phineas starting off the day with one of the many practical jokes that are played during the episode. Linda says,
You can join us at the Antique Symposium. This year's keynote address will debate shellac versus lacquer. Woohoo!
and we see the book that she's reading is titled Antiques. We meet Betty Jo and Clyde for the first time, Phineas's maternal grandparents. Grandpa Clyde wiggles his glasses, just like Jan does in Grease. And Ferb gets quite the monologue in this episode.
Still a man of few words, I see.
Well, actually,
So, where's your sister?
We hear them talk about vittles,
Time for fiddles!
Vittles is Grandpa E's for food.
which they sang about in a previous episode.
Cause pretty soon now it'll be about time to stop for fiddles in the mall.
Phineas says,
Hey, where's Perry?
and when Perry enters his lair, he knocks over and catches a vase. Which is reminiscent of Mr. Mosby always saving the vase in A Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
If it's not one thing, it's
Where Candace's voice actress, Ashley Tisdale, played one of the main characters, Maddie. Major Monogram says,
Not since I was at the Academy.
he references the Academy often in future episodes.
Back at the Academy.
Get off the stage.
Besides, I owe him big for that favor he did for me at the Academy.
Hey, Ray, I just did a favor for you.
Thanks, Francis. I owe you big.
And even has a framed diploma from the Academy hanging on his wall. But after he gives Perry his mission, we hear an audio flashback of Monogram at the Academy, which doesn't seem so pleasant.
The Academy.
But I don't want to go to the academy, Daddy.
I'm not your father, and it's been decided.
I love you, Daddy.
We learn in a future episode why he never wanted to go in the first place.
Well, as you know, my father was in the agency, and what you don't know is that he pressured me into following in his footsteps. But I always wanted to be an acrobat.
Candace mistakenly thinks the squirrel is talking to her,
I think you should act your age.
which happens again later in this episode,
Bigfoot!
and begins Candace's, shall we say, interesting relationship with squirrels.
There's squirrels in my pants!
Tell me what's making you jump like that.
Then Doofenshmirtz says,
Perry the platypus! How unexpected. And by unexpected, I mean unexpected. What are you doing here? This is my week off.
and his doorbell is the Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated jingle.
Oh no, Perry the platypus, she can't see you.
Perry is not amused when Dr. Doofenshmirtz asks.
You think you can act like a mindless animal?
Doof's online dating username is,
StrudelCutie4427.
which makes sense because strudels are a dessert that originated in Eastern Europe, where Doof's home country, Drusselstein, is located. Apparently, Phineas likes his marshmallows burnt.
Just how I like 'em.
And Doofenshmirtz says,
Why do I always get the crazies?
as if he's not crazy. Also, this marks one of the rare circumstances where Doofenshmirtz does recognize Perry when he doesn't have his hat on. Phineas reveals that his Bigfoot scare was being manned by Ferb the whole time.
There's no Bigfoot. It's just Ferb in the tree. Look, see? They're just dummies. Nice rope skills, my friend.
Then, who was this?
Ah, it's an inflatable Ferb. Sounds like Ferb, too.
But while he was starting to explain the joke, we actually saw the Inflatafer blink. Creepy. Then Candace is uncharacteristically mean to Phineas when she says,
You're a joke, Phineas!
but a few moments later, we realize that it was all part of a longer con to get people to believe in the next fake Bigfoot.
Did you see the look on their face?
That was so cool.
When we first see Perry back with the group, the lipstick marks are clearly visible. If you liked this, be sure to check out my breakdowns of other Phineas and Ferb episodes right here. And click here to see my Phineas and Ferb compilations. More coming soon, by the way. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And until next time, remember, there's no platypus controlling you.
The media is a platypus, it's all just